Tonight was class number 23, the double underhook pass and the double leg takedown with a conservative opponent. This is the third time taking the class, and I don't have much to say. I trained with my buddy Aaron, who's a seasoned veteran. He's got 4 stripes on his white belt, and of course, I'm about to get my 3rd stripe, so we've done this before. We know what the heck we're doing, but the one thing that I think was really helpful that maybe people haven't heard or haven't thought of before is, of course, you got to keep your head over their head. When you get to the point where you're going to do the double underhook pass and you're grabbing the shoulder, the way we used to my old Keep Showing Up, we would get a thumb in grip on the lapel. And the reason why we do that is to hold them in place so they can't, there goes the car again, is to hold them in place so they can't shoulder walk away from whatever it is we're trying to do. So I have a habit of grabbing the lapel. Of course, Gracie University says grab the shoulder. Either way, you're going to hold on and immobilize that son of a biscuit. And then when you come up on your toes and you're bringing your body forward, you're stacking them. You need to get your head over their head. And you keep your head over their head as you position and move your feet around to the side. And then you melt on top of them with all your weight and all your pressure into glorious side control, which is an ultra heavyweight. It's one of my favorites. I didn't learn a whole lot this class. It's great to do the reps. It's great to reinforce what I feel like I already know and what I think I already know. But it was fun to do the double leg, of course, and then transition into the double underhook pass. I don't have any real big takeaways. One thing I thought was good, or something I hadn't thought of before, is when you do the double leg takedown and you're holding onto the legs because you want to keep them from getting away. One of the key ideas, moments, I don't know, reminders, indicators, before you hop to the side, before you pass the legs from the double leg, you have to hold the other leg with like a flat arm. So it's almost like a windshield wiper, right? You kind of got to sweep it out of the way. And I hadn't heard that before, at least I didn't remember that before. So the double leg was good. I was very careful with my training partners because for that portion of the class, I was working with like a 15-year-old teenager who was much, much smaller than me. So I was very careful with the double leg. But by the time I partnered up with my buddy Aaron, who's a little bigger guy, a little heavier guy, he could take it. We got put a little more weight on each other. And man, I tell you, that pressure and that weight on the ribs sucks. But all in all, it's a good class. I'm excited to see what's next. Today was really kind of a big win for me because I planned to go to the 12:30 class, but time got away from me. Traffic was heavy. I couldn't go to the 12:30, but instead of giving up, instead of going to yoga or just lifting weights and calling it a day, I got my chubby self in the car and I drove my happy butt all the way down to Torrance during rush hour. It took me an hour and a half to get there to make sure I trained. And today was kind of unique in that both the 12:30 and the 6:30 class were both class number 23. And I needed class number 23. I needed to do it a 3rd time as I'm filling my card and getting closer and closer to my test in September. So, yeah, I'm just glad that I went with it. I'm glad I stuck with it. I'm glad that I stayed vigilant and took my butt to class. It's about keeping promises to yourself, you know, setting goals and keeping your goals and keeping promises to yourself. So I told myself I was going to train and get class number 23 done today. And you know what? After a lot of time on the road, I trained and I got class number 23 done. So keep your promises to yourself, stay on target with your goals, and make sure that your contract, your deals, your agreements with yourself, with your family, that you own that and you honor that, because we have to keep promises to ourselves. We have to prioritize the things that are important to us. Most of the people watching this channel are probably a little older. Maybe you're married, maybe you have kids, you have a job, you have other responsibilities, and those responsibilities sometimes will take precedence over our hobbies and things that we need. But again, that's why God invented poker night, right? Bowling leagues, the quilting circle, whatever the hell it is. We need time to serve and to be with our brothers and sisters and to be away from our responsibilities, sometimes away from your spouse. It's that whole phrase like Jim Cornette says, how can I miss you if you won't go away? We need time to go away and do our own thing in our community with our people. And then we can come back together with our family, with our spouse, with our job, and own up and handle our responsibilities. So do not neglect meeting together. Do not give up meeting together. Do not neglect your hobbies and the things that are important to you. So make sure that you're making time and carving out time for yourself. Make sure you're keeping your promises to yourself. Make sure you're keeping your eye on the prize, focused on your goals. And if you have got to the end of this video, give me a thumbs up in the comments so I know you made it this far. And then I need you to do 3 things. I need you to stay focused. I need you to stay positive, and you gotta stay vigilant. See you next time.